Well, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I came over to New Zealand in 2004 to do my master's at Elam. And I quite quickly realized that there was very few places around New Zealand that you could actually have good access to studios. So I got the opportunity in 2008 to buy a press and opened up the shop, and I guess it was March of 2009 is when we started rolling, and we did our first project with the artist Julian Hooper. Lithography always jumped out at me, mainly because it's sort of the ability to retain the original sort of drawing. Well, the first thing you need to do is grind down the stone and make sure that it's flat. And at that point the stone is ready to be drawn onto, and you draw onto the surface of the stone or paint onto the surface of the stone with any material that has grease or oil. So you could use a French fry or a lipstick, because those have oils and grease in them, and that would work, but typically you use manufactured crayons that have very specific amounts of grease. And so you've got, just like pencils, you've got gradients. You've got a number 1, a number 2, number 3, number 4, and 5. Once you draw onto the surface of stone with these greasy crayons, then you etch the stone with gum arabic and nitric acid. The non-drawn areas become hydrophilic because they'll accept water, and the areas you've drawn become hydrophobic, which means they'll repel the water. You have an inking roller that you have with oil-based ink, and you roll the surface of the stone, and that fresh ink will only go down onto the greasy areas, or the areas that you've set up to attract or to repel water. So once that area accepts fresh ink, you put down paper, run it through a press, and the pressure of the press transfers that fresh oil-based ink that's on the stone, transfers that to the paper. And then you start the process again. You sponge down the stone with water. Your drawn areas repel that water. That allows you to roll the stone up with oil-based ink, and that ink only goes down onto the drawing paper, run it through the press, and transfer. And so you go back to the beginning where you kind of grind it down, and you do that by kind of putting sand or silicon carbide onto the surface of the stone, and use a big metal steel disc with a handle, and you just manually grind it away, and then you're ready to start a new drawing.